Hi everybody, I am Lady Stars of Fire. My real name is Michelle Espinosa, and this is the energy forecast for September 15th through the 25th. All of my beautiful souls, I want you to understand, I want to stop for just a moment before we go into, this energy forecast, this weekly healing messages, this breaking of the cage, so we can exercise the matrix, the machine from within, and we can come back to our full soulfulness. I know that we have been going through a lot of negative energies. I know that we're still going to see more negative energies incoming. But I want to stop for just a second, and I want us to really think about, or if you can, what I'm getting from my spirit guides, and why not, is how important and how powerful and how really good this week can be if you are coming into your true soulfulness, your true authenticness, if you're starting to truly come into that vibration of soul and that soul connection and that soul consciousness. And the way Spirit is asking me is try to tell you, try not to hear the words that I'm saying with your ears. Try to hear them with your soul. Try not to look out at the world right now with the eyes that you have. Maybe it's not even your third eye. It's your soul's eyes. They say that the window to the soul is through the eyes. Ego is what wants everything right now. The soul knows it's everlasting. And there's a reason why I'm going this route as I start this week's energy forecast, because of the energy that's coming in. But I'm going to mix a little bit of the astrology with it, and then I'm really going to get into the astrology later. We're coming up on a new full moon in Pisces. And Spirit reminds me, well, that's nothing new if you're looking at it from, a typical point of view. But what we really need to start looking at it is Neptune has been in Pisces since 2012. And since 2012, it has been doing a humdinger job just pressing interests in your life. But that has everything to do with us getting to setting the true platform for the age of Aquarius. And I've been saying a million times, we're already in the age of Aquarius. That's part of why you're seeing everything fall apart. Because in order for us to actually get to what the age of Aquarius is about, we have to first get rid of everything that doesn't fit it. Neptune in Pisces rules Pisces. But the thing here is, like I said, we're coming to a full moon. Pisces is the universal 12th house. Now, there are some people out there who are going to see these videos and be like, it doesn't matter, unless you have the natal chart, it doesn't matter. The energy is still the same on a universal chart. It's just on a natal chart. If I had one of you as a client here in front of me, I could actually pinpoint it right down to, this is what's going on in your life. In this area, these things, and this is what you would notice. But from a universal standpoint, that energy is still there. It's just I can't give you the exact houses. I can give you the universal idea so that you are still feeling it. Now, Neptune rules the universal 12th house, which is grief, sorrow, shame, blame, insecurities, everything that needs healing, that we like to sweep under the carpet, that we like to leave our skeletons in the closet about, and we like to ignore. Well, it's been doing a number on everyone since 2012 when it moved in, and it's not going to be moving out until 2025. So it's at its last deacon of going, are you getting the messages yet? I like to say that Pluto is the spirit. It's the part of the spirit that you're afraid of. It's the part that you're afraid to come into and grow into. But Neptune is your magic. It's the spirit of your magic. It's the creativity of your magic. And in Pisces, it's been dealing with everything since 2012, trying to get through to us on how do you truly become the spirit of your soul, the spirit of your magic? How do you flip the page? How do you turn the leaf? How do you breathe life back into your life force? By realizing where it needed to be healed. And this is what it's been getting at since 2012. And we're coming into a full moon now in Pisces. That has a lot to do with where we're going to be going this week. This has to do with us getting deeper than just here and now and now. I always say that you have to do now. You have to take action now. Yes, because your future is created by what you do now. However, the ego is the only one that is so worried that it's going to lose its now, because soul knows it's everlasting. See, Spirit gave me, from time to time, I go wherever it is that Spirit directs me. And when I get into the astrology and I start reading the astrology, and then they have their other ways of communicating with me, because I am a medium as well, they steer it into helping me understand the full-blown picture of what's going on here. And what my guides keep giving me is one of the letters in Hebrew. And Hebrew is known as the alphabet of light. Now, what they're giving me is het. It's C-H-E-T, but the C is silent. So het. And in a form, this is a fence, a sheepfold, a place of protection, a fortress, something that is guarded and protected, a protected area. See, but Spirit also gives me, back to biblical terms, the tabernacle. And the tabernacle, I personally see it as a sanctuary of the soul. I see it as your own personal inner holy place, because that's what the tabernacle was. But the tabernacle was surrounded by a het, however you say it. Like I said, it's the Hebrew letter in the alphabet. It is the fence, the sheepfold, the place of protection, the fortress, the guarded area. The soul is that guarded area. The inner sanctuary is that guarded area. That inner light is that guarded area. It is the divine force. It speaks to us also of the union of the three, the masculine, the feminine, and then the secret hidden part, which would be source energy, which would be God, however you want to see it. It would be that divine power, the divine source guiding energy of the masculine and the feminine coming together to create the three. It is the life force itself. It is the pulling of the divine into the life force. This is what this chet or het actually means. It is the eternal divine connection that is unbroken, that cannot be broken. It's eternal. It is the very gateway of the higher source energy, of the higher energy, the run and return of coming back and learning what you learn and bringing it back to your consciousness. It is the life force of the soul itself. It is infinity because it also is the number 8 of that alphabet. It is the infinity number. It is the eternal number. It is the abundance number. This is talking to us about bringing that energy back into ourselves, making it a safe hold, making it the fortress that is well protected and preserved. It is the place of where we go for our own inner holiness and staying with that connection. Now, with that, this week, as we're going to the full moon also takes place 2 days before the equinox, which speaks to us of the balance of the equator coming into balance again. This is speaking to us of finding the balance of all. But on that full moon in Pisces, it's also another one of the Hebrew holidays. And it fits this energy perfectly because, if I'm pronouncing it right, it's Sukkot, the beginning of Sukkot. And it lasts for 7 days. This is why I am doing this video today, speaking to us of the energy that is incoming from the 15th through the 25th, because Sukkot is actually from the 20th to the 27th. And it is the Feast of the Tabernacle, the Feast of the Sanctuary, the Feast of the Holy. It is the festival of the shelter of the holy. You are the shelter of the holy. You just have to remember how to run and return to that higher consciousness and bring it back to this dimension. And keep it in a safe hold. Keep it in that fortress of protection because it is the life force of the soul. Bring that into you this week. Bring that into you for the next 2 weeks. Like I said, this has a lot to do with where we're taking these energies at this time. The equinox is taking place 2 days after the full moon in Pisces. This is all about healing. We've been dealing with healing coming from Neptune since 2012. And we're getting to the end of the lesson. Okay? And this is about telling us where we're not healing so that we can learn from our grief, sorrow, shame, blame, insecurities. From what it is we sweep under the carpet and we continuously say, yeah, I'll get to that later. That'll be okay. This is learning where it's not okay and where we have to make these changes. This is a very powerful time. Like I said, this is how we support and start to create the setting of the true platform for the age of Aquarius, because we are getting rid of the age of Pisces. We are already in Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. However, we haven't created the platform yet. This is all part of what we're talking about. And for this 2 weeks, you have Libra, which is also where you're going to have the equinox taking place. Libra is all about balance and justice. Balance and justice, but usually Libra is showing you where it's out of balance and where it's out of justice, because you have to acknowledge that in order to create it. Mercury is here. Mercury is also in shadow. So it's looking at the darker aspects of the communication within the relationships. Not to mention, I keep telling you guys how Maya and Make are here as well, which is the collective consciousness and the growth of the lotus flower, of starting to understand where you are on your spiritual, soulful journey. And Mars is here. Mars is not in its most powerful place in Libra. Mars in Libra is kind of like, oh, great, now I gotta sit in meetings all day and I've got to try to play the good guy and I'm going to figure out how to create the balance. Mars is action, passion, aggression. It is your inner fire. And in Libra, it's kind of lost its steam. It's trying to find the happy balance. It's trying to be a negotiator where normally it's a warrior. It's not at its top power. Mercury is not getting along. Oh, sorry. Mercury is having incredibly unpredictable energy this week, speaking with Neptune, where that full moon's about to take place. Neptune doesn't care what kind of magic you create, but it's been here since 2012, trying to tell you what kind of magic you should be creating by acknowledging where you're creating it wrong. And you still have until 2025 for it to finish teaching its lessons. So right now it's trying its hardest to give you everything of magic that Neptune has to try to set you on the most positive path. But typically when we look at astrology, it's showing you, by showing you where things, just like Libra, is not working. So where are you in your grief, sorrow, shame, blame, insecurity? Where are you in denial of that? Because these things are going to be coming up with that full moon. Now, Mars has moved into Libra. Like I said, it moved in on the 14th. You have the full moon, which is taking place on the 20th. The equinox is taking place on the 22nd. And Mercury is going to be going retrograde with so many other planets on the 27th. The only planet, you have Venus, which hasn't gone into shadow yet, but it is slowing down. So the only one that's truly at its top speed is not in a powerful position anymore. It just left Virgo. It's now in, I gotta sit in negotiations. More than getting out and being the warrior, the inner SWAT team. So now we're looking at balance. We're looking at justice. And this speaks to us of stop looking through the eyes of the ego. Start looking through the eyes of the soul. Start listening from the bigger picture. We do have a lot of very good, powerful energies coming in this week. But like I said, you have, how do we pronounce that again? Sukkot, which is taking place from the 20th to the 27th. It's a Jewish holiday. But this is, like I said, this comes right down to the energy we are talking about. It is the festival of the shelters. You are the shelter. You are the life force, the source energy, the spark that the Creator put in you. Are you finding that? This is the part that is important. Are you finding that life force energy within you? Are you connecting to that source energy? Are you connecting to your inner guiding? Are you connecting with the spark? Are you connecting with the authenticity of who and what you always were? Even though parts of you didn't believe in that magic. Parts of you didn't believe in what you are capable of creating. We're coming into the age of Aquarius. We're setting the platform. We have to destroy a lot in order to actually make it so. But this has to do with believing in ourselves. Finding that inner fortress from within. We have a lot of positive energy this week, though. We do have a grand trine taking place with that Mars in Libra. It is getting along wonderfully with the North Node. Because it's in Gemini still, but it's really getting along with Lilith and Sirius. And Lilith and Sirius is asking you, are you speaking up? Are you communicating your soul fire? Because Mars isn't able to really do that yet. It's like I said, negotiations in Libra. It's balanced justice. We're weighing the scales. But in Gemini, it's everything that's up close and personal. So is everything that's up close and personal, are you setting it free? Are you speaking your mind in healthy ways? Are you being liberated in the communication and being able to actually come through with what it is you're trying to create or communicate? Because Sirius here nurtures, not Sirius star, Sirius. Sirius nurtures everything, but she also hits below the belt. She is the threefold. She is the karmic return, coming with the soul fire, and the North Node here is everything you need to learn about what's up close and personal in your life about the here and now in order to create what you want. But remember, only ego has to have it right now. This is learning how to create here and now. What we want, be part of it, be part of that cycle, and start making it so. But it's not going to come like that. That's ego. Soul knows that you are part of a big, big, big soulful change on the entire planet. And that we are going through such a major individual time of soulfulness. This trine is also getting along wonderfully with Aquarius, Saturn. So we are able to set these rules, walls, and boundaries if we believe it from our heart and soul. If we are coming into communication in a healthy way, it is there. If you are open-minded enough to see the change that's capable of being made, that will support your goals, support your life, support your dreams. Remember, we're looking at coming to a full moon in Pisces. That covers, truthfully, all houses, honey. Grave sorrow, shame, blame, insecurities, skeletons in the closet. We don't always need to have relationships to cause these problems. Sometimes we cause them within ourselves, but sometimes they are caused by relationships and the outer world. So this is about getting raw and deep with yourself and healing everything about you that's kept you from purely being the fire-filled soul that you are. And bringing it and breathing that life force energy, source energy into yourself, and remaining the fortress of everything that you are. But this comes from up close personal communication of what is and is not important, so that you know who and what to even bother with anymore. The sun is getting along wonderfully with Pluto. Pluto, I've said earlier, death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, regeneration. It is starting to find the soul parts of yourself that you were a little afraid to tap into. That's what this whole week is. Tapping into your life force energy and bringing it back into the consciousness of your soul. The sun is illuminating those parts that you are afraid of. And how you bring that into the outer world. Because we're talking about, again, we're still having Virgo, which is the sun. The sun is still in Virgo, which is the 6th house on a universal scale. It is your daily tasks, your daily routines, your people, places, and things of energies that you consume. The energy that you eat. The energies that you consume. Along with that outer world, the authority of that outer world, what you allow that authority to do to you. Financially as well, because it often supports your jobs, your career zones. So this is learning how to stand our ground, but standing it in a soulful way, being united as a fortress from within. Mercury, again, is in Libra, and it is getting along wonderfully with Jupiter. These are all still in retrograde, so these are all pieces of the puzzle telling us pieces that we need to correct, change, shift, so that we can have the abundance of our life that we want, and acknowledging how to do it. Communication with the relationships of your outer world. Your memberships, your goals, your dreams, your memberships, your committees, your teams, work friends, outer world, your friends, your real friends, and work friends, All of this, does it support your goals, dreams, ambitions? If it's not, why are you still taking part in it? It's really where it's coming down to. Having the guts to communicate what is and is not needed, and what is and what is not necessary, and what will and will not fly in your life anymore. Uranus, though, is not getting along with Venus, which is now in Scorpio, which means some of these changes are not going to be the ones that you're going to want to see, the ones that you're necessarily going to want to take place with, but they most likely can be very healthy ones, because Scorpio is also like the death card. It's the end of one thing and the beginning of something new. So this is the shifting of our lives. We are definitely seeing it here. But Uranus is saying it might be touching base in uncomfortable areas. And areas of up close and personal, getting into your dignity, getting into your liberation, your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem, your unique, individual, creative self. And will you back down because you're afraid of the change, and you'll just keep going with the same old flow and allowing the same old thing to keep happening? Neptune has been trying to teach you this lesson of these things that we ignore since 2012. We're getting to where I'm going to start hitting you upside the head because you need to start learning the lesson. This is all about these changes. Wow, I have a lion coming in now. This is all about courage. The courage of the lion and coming forward and being willing to walk that walk. You have Venus, which is in Scorpio, which is not getting along with Saturn. The rules, laws, and the boundaries. The restrictions of being told what you can and can't do. Of that outer world by those outer people. And how will that affect you? What will you do about that? Yes, like I said, we are seeing negative things, but we have to look at it from a higher vibrational part. You are a fortress. Nothing can harm you. Nothing can come in when you have that divine energy. You're running and returning and bringing it back. This is going into that higher consciousness. This is going into that divine fortress that you are. But you have to bring that higher vibrational frequency this week, for this next 2 weeks. This is not the time to be distracted, party, and fall off the wagon, because you will find yourself much farther behind, having to run to catch up. You have the sun also that's not getting along with Neptune, meaning right off the bat, you're going to be uncomfortable with the changes, meaning it's going to be easier for you to want to not go along with the flow, to just kind of, fine, we can take care of this later. No. This is all about taking care of the soul now. But this is acknowledging that this is not just for now. This is for always. And the sun is in that 6th house. People, places, and things of energies that you consume on a daily basis. Your mundane tasks. Where are they healthy and unhealthy? And how is that creating your magic, the soulfulness, to actually not stand in the power? And when is it showing you how to? Slow down and pay attention. You have, and we have sextiles like nobody's business this week. And for those who aren't following astrology, especially for the next 2 weeks, those who don't follow astrology, sextiles are very harmonious. They are able to make things happen. They bring opportunities. However, when you have a lot of sextiles, the opportunities are all right there and make you feel comfortable to say, that's okay, I can get that here next. I can get to that a little bit later. It's okay because you're feeling comfortable. But when those sextiles crumble and they're not there anymore, so's the opportunity not there anymore. This is all part of what I'm talking about. This is the time. This is the time to find your inner lion. This is the time for that courage and to walk that walk. Pluto is getting along great with Neptune. He's there giving you all of the power and the magic and the fire and the soulful authenticity you need, if only you'll tap into it. That's the key. Will you tap into it? Will you tap into the life force? The North Node, Lilith and Ceres, in Gemini, is sextiling Chiron, which then is sextiling Saturn. This is the communication is there for the healing, for the actual boundaries to be shifted and created. But then it sextiles the South Node, which goes, yeah, but that's okay, more or less. Which then is sextiling the Sun. Right back to where you started. This is the week to not let those opportunities slip. Because if you let them slip, they may not be there when you try to go back for them later. Like I said, I'm giving you a good almost 10 days or something like that. From the 15th to the 25th, I extended this one. This is all tapping into your life force, knowing the power that you are, agreeing with the authenticity that you are, having the liberation and the power to stand in your power, pull that life force into you, for you are a fortress. But if you're a fortress that isn't doing anything, then you'll be like an old castle that's left behind. It's there. Just will you reach out and grab it? Like I said, the lion just showed up in front of me. The courage is there if you will take it. It's just time to walk the walk. I love you guys. Bye.